Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news, headlines, comments, ideas, questions, suggestions, all kinds of information that we can get our hands on to have a better life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. To have a better life. I don't know where that accent came from, but I seem to be accenty today. It's not intentional. Today is Wednesday, May 19th, so this means several things. It's Walking Wednesday, and we are going to walk. It also means that it's Hump Day, and as we say here in Mexico, it's Belly Button Day, whatever that means, but here we are. And today we have important, very important news, more details about the coming vaccination campaign, which starts tomorrow. So we will focus most of our news around this topic. Then we have other interesting bits and pieces to share with you. And then we're going to walk. So we might as well get started with today's broadcast, and we'll save our hellos for the second half of it as usual. Okay, so we're going to divide this into three basic headlines. First of all, we are expecting 32,000 vaccines today in Puerto Vallarta so that the vaccination campaign for folks 50 to 59 can begin. The campaign will also be available for pregnant women of all ages. The campaign begins tomorrow and will continue for 5 days until Tuesday of the coming week. So if you are in this age range, keep your calendar available. We'll get into more details as to when you have to go or when you don't have to go in a second. Each day, the vaccination venues will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it will be very long days, 12-hour days. Now, where will the vaccines be available? This time around, there will only be two venues, one for women that are expecting and another one for the current age group. Pregnant women of any age can go to the Naval Hospital, located at Francisco Medina Asensio. This is across from El Salado Estuary. If you're heading north and you've just passed Sam's Club and the Maritime Terminal, it is just a few hundred meters ahead. Folks that are 50 to 59 will be vaccinated at the La Lija Sports Complex in Pitillal. Let me show you on a map where this is located. There it is. So in order for us to see where that is in relationship to the rest of the city, well, there it is. There's the city. There's Cinco de Diciembre, Hotel Zone, Fluvial, etc., and La Lija is located deep, deep in the far side of El Pitillal. The next news item that I have for you has to do with pre-registration. Authorities are encouraging those that are expecting to be vaccinated to pre register in order to expedite the process. Along those lines, showing up with a vaccination format already printed out along with your documentation will make the waiting period to be shorter, more than likely. If all went well when you pre registered, you should have received a PDF document, and this is what you want to print out. I will leave you with the website of where you have to be pre registering in case you haven't, and it's showing up on the screen right now. And of course, the only remaining question is, when should you go? Well, this seems to be the one missing link that nobody has yet announced. Local authorities have yet to announce a procedure, but it is likely to happen according to the first letter of your last name, as it has been organized in previous campaigns. So we will keep an eye on this through the day to see if more details are made available to that effect. Hopefully they will. I mean, vaccination starts tomorrow. In the meantime, the best thing that I can suggest for you is that you find friends whose last names start with letters close to yours and plan on going together. And find a friend whose command of the Spanish language is better than yours. If yours is not up to speed, needless to say, La Lija is out in the middle of Spanishlandia. So you will probably feel more at ease if you are accompanied by someone whose command of our language is better than yours. I already have my group, so there. I am happy about the vaccine. Can you tell? I have one more last minute thing that I want to share with you. This I just spotted about 5 minutes ago. On Facebook, CEPAL has announced that there will be water shortage in Las Juntas, which is south of Puerto Vallarta. And this will happen between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Today. So if you are living in this place, and you notice that you have water shortages, then what you want to do is just be a little bit patient and wait for this to be resolved. And these are the very important news that I wanted to share with you about the vaccine. Let us dive in to the weather. Snarky Carrot Weather says, I hope you like allergies. Spring's here. I say, fuck you. Seriously, I mean, my nose has been like, but I know I'm not alone, so I'm not going to feel so bad about it. Our weather is temperature is 26 degrees, feels like 28, humidity is 55%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit is 79 degrees. And our weather forecast for today is it's going to be a clear day, although some people are reporting that it is cloudy out there. But we're expecting a clear day with a high temperature of 29, low temperature of 20. Thursday is going to be a clear day tomorrow, and with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 21. And Friday, we wrap up the week, or the work week rather, with another clear day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 21. Not bad at all. Now, I have a couple of headlines that I want to share with you. Well, one more. No, a couple of headlines that I wish to share with you about other things that are going on. The first one has to do with this local bicycle festival that has been announced by authorities to take place this weekend in town. It will involve 40 professional bicycle riders from all over the world participating in extreme biking activities. The festival is called Free Ride. It will take place on Friday from 3 to 8 p.m. and then on Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. What kind of bicycle festival is this going to be about? Well, I'm going to leave you with the website, the official website, so you can find out more about this. My hunch is that this is going to be similar to other downhill bicycle riding festivals that have been organized in El Centro, where cyclists start a journey up in the La Cruz Hill, and they just start cycling down until they reach the Malecon. If you live in this neighborhood, then this you probably have already seen some structures being built and so forth and so on. But if you're interested in this, I encourage you to take a look at this website, and I'll leave the information on the show notes. Now, before we get into Walking Wednesday, I want to tell you about this guy. This guy. You're not seeing the guy, but now you are. Do you recognize this guy? His name is Adolfo López Mateos. He was a Mexican politician who became a member of the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or PRI. He was elected president of Mexico. He served from 1958 to 1964, which means that I was born during his presidency. Who knew? During his tenure, he's known for many things. During his tenure, he created the National Commission for Free Textbooks in 1959, which meant that all schools in Mexico, private or public, received free textbooks from the government, and this standardized all the information that was provided to students in elementary school. I post this image, this painting, because if you went to elementary school in Mexico during the past few years, or the past few decades actually, you probably recognize this gal in the cover of the official books. López Mateos also opened the National Museum of Anthropology Museum in Mexico City, probably the most important museum in all of Mexico. He also established the Instituto de Seguridad y Servicios Sociales de los Trabajadores al Servicio del Estado, or ISSSTE, to provide, these are the clinics, the health clinics, to provide childcare, medical services, and other social services to workers, especially state employees. He was a very popular president among the Mexican people, and he is usually considered one of the most popular Mexican presidents of the 20th century. Like many important personalities in Mexico, his name is used to name streets, neighborhoods, health clinics, and so forth. And why are we discussing him today? Well, let's just go for a walk and find out. Boom. Hello everyone. I am standing right at the corner of Rio Sula and Rio Lerma in Colonia López Mateos, and behind me is this beautiful mural that I'm going to take a photograph of. And some of you may be familiar with this location, some of you may not. Let me take a quick photo of this beautiful mural. And this beautiful mural belongs to none other than the Vallarta Food Bank. What am I doing in this neighborhood? Well, it so happens that I was visiting a dear friend of mine, and by chance I came upon this place and this neighborhood where I'm finding that
if you want, you can ask the people or our volunteers because you have complete your report.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, here we are in this colonia called López Mateos that I didn't know very well. And I had the chance to visit it the other day. And there's all kinds of interesting buildings here. For example, this gorgeous, gorgeous building right here. We don't know exactly what it is, but we hope that it's being used for something wonderful. And here we see the volunteers for Vallarta Food Bank, where they are offering hot meals
to anyone that approaches. Check out their logos. Hunger Hero, that's really cool. So this is the place where the Vallarta Food Bank does all their work. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
It's great to see you guys here. Qué gusto me da verlos. So we're going to explore a few streets in this neighborhood so that you can see this part of Vallarta that, I'll be honest, I'm not very well acquainted with. There is a small restaurant here called Los Anguiano where they serve birria. This place was open the other day when I was walking about. And I know you're probably wondering, well, where are you, Paco? Well, I'm going to show you a map so that you can see the walk that we're going to do today. I'm going to get back to the main street, but not before I show you a few improvements that are being made in this Mexican neighborhood to make it a more livable, better neighborhood for all. Of course, you know, we're in the middle of election time, and there's a lot of walls that have been painted for this candidate and that other candidate and so forth and so on. Hopefully all that stuff will be removed once the elections are over. Now, I'm crossing a little bridge, and I want to show you this because these are the different water channels that bring down rain-falling water when the rain season begins. And the city has endeavored to build these brand new bridges so that people can better get from one side of the stream to the other. I know that this is very recently constructed. And now we're going to walk down this street,
which is the main street.
And before you know it, we're going to end up at the Libramiento. But as I am walking down the street, I want you to see the range of businesses that you can find here. Buenas tardes. For example, we start here. There's a place that sells paletas heladas. Yummy. Popsicles. And there's a couple of convenience stores. This one has plain old groceries. And next to it, a small hardware store. And a clothing store. Buenas tardes. Across the street, I am seeing another hardware store. So for people that live in this neighborhood, there's no shortage of places where they can shop for basic needs. It's a beautiful day out, even though it is a little warm, but still it is a nice day to be walking. There's a breeze going on. Coming up here in the corner, I love it. This lady has set up shop right on the street to sell used clothes. How cool is that? Let me take a photograph. I love it.
Thank God for a zoom lens.
We don't know if she has a permit or not, and we don't care. It's nice to see people trying to make something out of nothing. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. And the other day, while I was walking down, my friend recommended me this particular stand where you can buy horchata de coco or coconut horchata. Horchata is this very refreshing beverage made with rice.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And this is at the corner of Rio Ameca and Rio de la Plata. I, of course, had to try it. And this was horchata with rice, obviously, but it also had coconut flavor, which was really good. Buenas tardes. And then, coming up, I discovered this taco place, which again, I was here visiting on Sunday, and it was really packed with people. Right now, buenas tardes. ¿A qué horas empiezan a servir? ¿O ya sirvieron?
Son desayunos.
Son desayunos. Ah, ok. ¿De qué horas a qué horas?
De las 8 a las... ¿Qué? A las 2, 2:30, 3.
Ok, gracias. So this is a very cute neighborhood restaurant. ¿Les puedo tomar una foto?
Sí, claro.
Así. Very cute neighborhood restaurant where they serve una, dos, tres. Where they serve desayuno or breakfast. You know, you can enjoy this here. And right next to it, there's this taco stand. And they're still serving tacos, which is really nice. ¿De qué son los tacos, jefe?
Carnita.
Oh, so this is a carnita taco stand. ¿Le puedo tomar una foto? Okay. Excellent. Muchas gracias.
Estamos every day.
Every day, he says. I think that's great. Everyday tacos. So have fun. If you live here or if you know friends that live in this neighborhood, please let me know. This is a new neighborhood for me. This is the second time that I walk it, but I like it very much. And I see enough businesses to think that the neighborhood pretty much relies on their own shops. And this might be a good place to live if you're looking for a new place to live. Buenas tardes. Buen provecho.
Almost done. Almost
There's
done.
a fruit store across the street. And before you know it, we are at the Libramiento. I'm going to walk all the way to the Libramiento so you can see exactly where we are. I've shown you the map, but this will give you a better idea. If you are coming from Emiliano Zapata and heading to the north side of the city through the Libramiento, this intersection that I'm about to reach is the first traffic light that you see when you're coming down from the big tunnel. So there's the big tunnel. Well, you cannot see it from here, but it would be in that general direction. There's what is known as the Red Cross is over there somewhere. This is the Libramiento heading towards the northern part of the city. And here is the street that I just came from, which is the main access street to the neighborhood. I want to come back and show you a little bit more of the improvements that the city has been making here recently. And this is stuff that I looked at the other day. Con permiso. So this whole area, there are a couple of food stands and people selling stuff. And right in front of me is another one of those fairly recent bridges for people to be able to conveniently get from one side of the water stream to the other. Again, these canals are a consequence of of rainwater coming down. But during the rain season, there's no way to cross from one side to the other. So the city has built these things. Needless to say, no rain is coming down this time of year. It's very, very dry. But if I lived in this neighborhood, I would be very, very grateful to have these kinds of bridges to get from one point to the other. And before I say goodbye, I have to show you something that I very much enjoyed seeing, which is this little container. It says para las heces, which means this is for the dog poop. I see a sign here for the SPCA. I don't know if this is where their offices are located or if this is just a concerned neighbor showing support for animal causes. Right in front of me, I see a sign for a place called Gringo Burger. I'm not familiar with that place. I don't know if any of you are. If you have seen it, please feel free to let us know. If you can recommend it, we'll come back and check it out at some point. And this has been my quick exploration of López Mateos, the neighborhood. Some people call it La López, just to keep it short. La López meaning, of course, La Colonia López Mateos. And I think this is a good spot for us to stop, wrap things up. And as always, I want to thank you for keeping me company as we walk around the city. I hope you enjoyed this walk. And as always, I thank you very much. Have a great time.
And I'm itching to get to your comments because there's been great comments throughout the whole broadcast. So we are now officially starting our chit chat section of the broadcast. If you've enjoyed the news and are in a hurry, see ya. But if you want to stick around and continue chit chatting for a little while, we're going to be here for a few more minutes. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you. Spokane is in the house. Anaheim is in the house. And of course, our baker is in the house. El panadero con el pan. It's great to see you all. Yes, Suzanne, I looked out my window and it was partly cloudy earlier today, but now I see that the sun is shining. Hopefully we will have, oh my God, every time I move my table and everything shakes. Okay, I won't move the table anymore. Let's see what else we have. Woodland Hills is in the house. Hello, Albert. It's great to see you. Glad to see that you have a clean bill of health, Sherry. Let's see what else. Enrique says 8 more days till my arrival. I'm excited to try some restaurants from Taco Tuesday. Well, they are here. They are all here. Matthew is thinking that I'm probably going to get vaccinated through the weekend. I am probably thinking the same thing since my last name begins with an O and my friends' last names begin with a P and an R. So I'm definitely hoping that that will be the case. Angelo asks, what happens if you are in the 60 and above and was unable to get it? My answer is, unfortunately, Angelo, I don't know. You want to reach out to the health authorities locally because there have been already 2 campaigns for seniors, and I don't know exactly what or when more vaccines will become available for your age group. Happy for you being able to get your vaccine. Thank you very much. Julie Levine says, I missed the vaccine update. Anyone? Well, Julie, that's the beautiful thing about being able to come back and watch the broadcast on your own time after the broadcast is over. If nobody has answered your question, then all you have to do is wait for the end of it and check it out, or check out the show notes. Bam badadim bam bam. Let's see what else. Chun 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 chun. Brett says my favorite museum. You know, if going to Mexico City and not visiting the Anthropology Museum is or should be a crime, it is such a spectacular place. It really is a beautiful, beautiful museum. Michael loves the dance on the Walking Wednesday dance. I've been thinking of doing more dances, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Interesting factoids from Matthew regarding Lopez Mateos, who apparently flirted with Jackie Kennedy during their visit to Mexico. And then mentions that a Toluca airport is named after him, as well as one of the big ISTE hospitals in Mexico City. Um, let's see. Jeannie is looking for vaccine buddies. If anybody's close to the last name G or similar letters, you know, talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. And about the food tour, Lisa had wanted to know where the food bank is. You know, I had no idea that it was there. I went and visited a friend, and boom, all of a sudden it was there, and that's how I discovered the neighborhood. After I visited a friend, I said to this friend who was going to give me a ride back home, I said, you know what, let me get lost in your neighborhood because I've never lived it before. And this was this past Saturday, and I had such a blast. There was such a flurry of activity, even more so than what we saw today. People eating out and restaurants packed, and it was all beautiful, beautiful. And my friend recommended that coconut horchata, and I got myself a glass on the way home, and it was absolutely refreshing. Another great comment from Lisa. Walks always make me realize that I'm not adventurous enough and I need to venture out more. I love this Colonia. You know, Lisa, find walking buddies. For a while, I thought, what would it be like to do my Walking Wednesday videos with the company of others? And whenever I have attempted to do something like that, I found myself so distracted, and in a good way, you know, because you want to hang out with your friends and you want to be doing your work and so forth and so on. So I've always felt it a little bit challenging to invite other folks to walk with me. But Lisa, you know, it's a simple, it's kind of like exercise. You know, you don't think you're going to enjoy it as much until you actually get started with it. I loved going into a colonia that I had never ever seen before, and I've lived here for 20 years, close to 20. So be more adventurous. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. Michael comments that building is a bakery, and I confirm at the beginning of the video there was a beautiful building that has a bakery. Unfortunately, the bakery was closed at that time, so I did not end up visiting it. But on the map, it shows as a bakery. Let's see. Raymond is going to be singing Evita all day long. Fine. Lovely. Make a recording and share it with us. Let's see what else. Unfortunately, I could eat tacos every day and tortas ahogadas and tamales and so forth and so on, says Brett Jones. You know, Brett, I'm looking forward to death by tacos al pastor personally. I could never stop eating them. And, you know, if I was put on a desert island and God was only willing to offer me one more thing, I would ask her to give me tacos al pastor. So I could die from tacos al pastor. I really could. But I hope not to, at least not in the near future. Dave asks a very good question. Is this neighborhood also known as Agua Azul? During the broadcast, Dave, I went up and whipped out my map. So here is Lopez Mateos over here. And Agua Azul is nearby, but it's a completely different neighborhood, as you can see. Not far. We went down this street and then ended up somewhere back here during the walk. So it's not like you're going out in the middle of nowhere. Lynn asks, boom, bada bing, bam, bam, is that where the DIF office is located? The answer is no. The DIF office is located further south on the map, and it's located over here. Amazing all the things you can find on Google Maps, isn't it? Let's see what else. else? Kim says, my besties live in Lopez Mateos. I'm there 1 or 2 times a week now, watering plants, tending the pool while they're away for the summer. That's awesome. That's awesome. Terry says, hard to find the neighborhood. I don't know, but you did it. Thanks for the tour. Again, it was completely new to me, and I was so very happy to explore it for the first time. David says, I Googled the street names that you are on, so I know exactly where you are. Good for you. Way to go. Way to go. Jimmy says, que bonita Colonia. I thought so as well. What a pretty neighborhood. Very, very nice, very clean. I imagine it is as safe as any other neighborhood in our city. But I would definitely go back to it again. And it was fun to see all the little tienditas, all the little corner stores. For anyone living in that neighborhood, I was like, you have hardware stores and small convenience shops and places to buy fried chicken and places to get involved with a good nonprofit if you want to get involved with a food bank. I mean, just fun stuff. Let's see what else we have. Nice comments. Thank you very much for everyone that has commented about this. Thank you for the shot update. Off to the printer to print my PDF. Way to go. And let us have a good prick in a few days. Let's see. Linda says, great walk, Paco. Only 6 more months before I can return. Well, we'll keep you company if you keep us company, Linda. We're always here. Let's see what else. Winter says, Paco, I left the envelope at Sean's restaurant yesterday. Thank you very much for your contribution, Winter. Sean has contacted me, and I had already let him know that he would be expecting an envelope. Thank you so much for your support. It is thanks to contributing members that, like you, that we are able to do all these wonderful things. Lisa, I'll be back in September if you want a walking buddy. There you go. And we have, of course, we couldn't have a coffee and headlines without somebody throwing a pun. David says, what's the diff? Ha, ha, ha. Okay. And last but not least, Terry asks, is that neighborhood on both sides of the Libramiento? It's probable that it is, because I can see, in fact, let's find out. If I do a search on Google Maps and I look for López Mateos, Puerto Vallarta, this should bring out the actual, there you go. This map shows us that it is not on the other side of the Libramiento, but we can see here the boundaries of the Colonia going all around. So usually when you go into Google and you enter the name of a colonia, Google Maps will return the actual boundaries of the colonia, and this is what I have done right now. So there you have it. And that brings us to the end of the broadcast. We don't have any more questions for now. So as always, it is a pleasure to get together with you, and it is a pleasure to share news and tips and suggestions with you. I think I'm going to go back to some of those taco places that I saw in the neighborhood. So if there's something that we should be all enjoying, you'll be the first to know. And tomorrow is Thursday. We will keep our eyes open through the day for more updates on the vaccination for folks 50 to 59. And between now and then, please stay kind, stay happy. If you're going to get vaccinated, put your group together and, bring water and bring all the things that everybody should bring to vaccination. And more than anything else, bring the best possible attitude. I know it's been very challenging for everyone to go through all these things and the uncertainty of this, that, and the other, but hang in there. I firmly believe that things are getting better, and I hope you do too. So between now and the next time that I see you, stay happy, stay cool, stay kind, and stay in touch. Have a great day.